Doo-doo-dee. It's Nandi!
Hello friends. There is a new patch upon us and the patch notes have just been released. There are a lot of big things to talk about, so sit back and relax as I break down everything you need to know. I have done a lot of work with Tacticus Ambassador FMG. He is an aerospace engineer in real life and enjoys math and crunching numbers. Stay tuned for the end where we give you some really deep insight into the drop rate changes. I'll start off with a couple of brief announcements about events and characters. I'm not covering these in great detail here, but I will have an in-depth video for all of them closer to their start date. First, we have the Pariah Nexus event. This is another survival event and will start on November 24th. It runs over a week and features Tangita of the Adeptus Mechanicus faction. Usable factions are the Admech, Adeptus Sororitas, Astra Militarum, and Ultramarines. This time, instead of Tyranids, we fight against hordes of Necrons, and this change of enemy really impacts your character choices and strategy. I'll talk more about this closer to the time. We also have the third Genestealer cult character arriving this patch. Holland Baumgart is the Genestealer cult Biophagus. He is unlockable via a 2-week hero release event that starts on November 17th. I really like him and I think he's a really powerful character that you'll want to add to your rosters. He brings something unique to the Xenos as an entity that we don't currently have in the game. Coming up in the next Battle Pass is the 5th Tyranid character, the Parasite of Mortrex. This will be an epic Battle Pass, which means that there are 5 more stages before you hit the repeatable reward stage, and you are usually at least required to pay for the premium track of the Battle Pass to unlock the character. Finally, we are getting the 5th Machine of War, the Broadside. The Tau Machine of War will be unlockable during the Incursion event that starts on December 2nd. To the surprise of no one, I'll have a lot to say about this guy, so stay tuned for the video analysis. We have 2 character quests for Zybia and Titus this month. The legendary release event this month is for Karn the Betrayer. This will be the 2nd LRE for the World Eater Champion. In welcome news, Snowprint have reduced the number of tournament arenas in this live ops cycle, from 2 to 1. This is a deliberate effort to reduce the number of concurrent events, which I'm quite grateful for. On the topic of Tournament Arena, Snowprint have also increased the size of the brackets for the leaderboard to account for the growing player base and provide more rewards. More rewards are always welcome. There has been a massive increase and improvement to the munitions economy for players. Now, players will get 3 munitions per day by completing the daily Battle Pass missions. Munitions are no longer available as an arena reward. You net an additional 15 munitions per week as a result of this change, and an additional 75 munitions for free over the entire 5-week live ops cycle. Big positive and big boost for the player economy. Thank you, Snowprint. A new feature has also been added to War. Snowprint is calling this a grind them down debuff. Essentially, after each unsuccessful attack against an enemy defense, their current and maximum health is reduced by a percentage based on your battlefield level. You still have to deal at least some damage in order for this debuff to apply, but the reduction in health ranges from 30% at the lowest battlefield level to 10% at battlefield 5. I'm not quite sure how I feel about this change. I think it will make wars less competitive overall, but certainly make them more new player friendly, which I suppose is fine. There has also been a generalized reduction on the coin costs for forging both orbs and badges. The most notable is legendary orbs, going from 50,000 coins to 20,000. It's still quite a steep price, and you shouldn't squander your gold carelessly, but the prices are now not as prohibitive as before. I think this could be better, but it's still an overall positive. One of the big changes this patch is the introduction of Blessed Requisitions. It's probably easier to understand this as a banner system. Essentially, during the time frame that the banner is live, you have a significantly increased chance of unlocking one of the banner characters. These requisitions are completely independent of normal requisitions. These banner requisitions are more expensive as well, costing 400 Blackstone compared to the usual 300 per requisition. You'll be able to earn banner requisitions by playing the game and during special events. If you earn some banner requisitions and decide not to use them on the current banner, you can save them and use them on a future event. The banner requisitions do not have any orbs and benefit from the mercy system. The mercy system for normal scrolls starts at 100 fails and progressively grows the probability, so when you get to 300 fails you are guaranteed to get a legendary. For the banner system, we start at 50 and cap out at 100, where you are guaranteed to get 500 character shards for a featured character. The notable difference though is that the 500 shards could be for Revas here, rather than a guaranteed legendary like Moghan Ra or Calgar in the traditional system. This leads on to another special event running this live ops cycle, the Training Rush event. This runs for 5 days from December 2nd to the 7th. During this event, your characters earn triple the XP from battle. You also earn rewards as you reach event milestones. For every enemy you defeat in battle, you'll gain 1 training point, which feeds into your event progress bar. Raiding battles grants the same number of training points as playing manually. It is worth noting that summons do not count towards this progress bar whatsoever, so you can't farm Grots or Cadian Guardsmen in order to sort of cheese progress. I don't know whether to call this a requisition rework or just another layer on requisitions, but I'm a little bit skeptical about this one. I still don't think this is quite the requisition fix or rework that I was hoping for. Simply put, if I'm a Genestealer cult's lover and I've downloaded Tacticus because I've seen a Genestealer cult ad, the system doesn't really give me the ability to unlock and play with my favourite faction. Maybe we'll see more to come from the requisitions in the future. Time will tell. I've left the most impactful change for last. In version 1.22, Snowprint got rid of their old system of gear drops, known colloquially as the jar system, and moved to a true random system with a mercy element to limit bad luck streaks. They have made some further tweaks to improve that system in this patch. Once more, FMG comes to the rescue with an example for how this will work for farming a legendary material on an elite node. Here is an example of how things work for farming a legendary material on an elite node. The first line on screen is red and reflects the old jar system. This system meant that players basically averaged out at 40% all the time. That system was replaced by the mercy system as of patch 1.22, which we'll call the October patch. You'll have an effective 40% chance at any time to get a material, and this increases over time, reflecting the mercy system mechanic. The blue line reflects the new system, in place as of this patch, the November patch. For the first few raids you don't have as high of a chance of getting the material, but basically after 4 raids, the new system rewards you with much more material than before. This graph is the result of FMG running millions of simulations to give us effective probabilities. The easiest way to understand this graph is to take a point on the x-axis, let's say 100. With the November patch system, 100 raids of an elite node should get you just about 43 legendary materials, compared to 41 in the October patch and 40 in the old jar system. Hopefully that makes sense. This is talking about averages, but the system has some built-in variance. On screen you can see the distribution of drops when raiding this node 100, 1000 and 10,000 times. Although at the start some people will get less rewards than with the old jar system, eventually even the most unlucky among us will be better served by this new system. Okay, that's a hopefully short and sweet summary of the important stuff in this patch. There is a lot of stuff around the sides, bug fixes, balancing and more. If you're interested, I'd recommend reading the full patch notes on the official Tacticus Discord. I wanted to give a big shout out to my Patreons. Thank you for supporting me in the work that I do and giving me a platform to continue making content. If you are a newer player who hasn't yet used their referral code, I've left FMG's up on screen. He helps me immensely with the work that I do, and supporting him also supports me. These referrals are single use though, so choose who you support carefully. Bye for now.
Doo-doo-dee. It's Nandi!